there, whiskey lovers, welcome to another one of my ramblings, and as you can see, it's going to be another gin rambling. So no whiskey today, but not to worry, I do not intend to make many of these spirits ramblings instead of whiskey ramblings. I know that you, like me, prefer whiskey more than anything else, but nevertheless, I find it interesting to once in a while look over that wall and discover some sherries, some rums, some cognacs, and some gins, and other types of drinks, some beers as well, why not? If you let me know you're interested, then I may be able and willing to do some more of these other spirits ramblings, but I will be focusing more on whiskey when this one's over. But nevertheless, this rambling is about the Citadelle gin. Why? Because I found it in my little gin discovery. I've tried about 20. I found it to be one of my very favorites, especially this one, the Citadelle Réserve. The Citadelle Réserve is quite different from their regular Citadelle gin because it has been aged for 6 months in oak casks that have previously held cognac. And that is because it is produced in the Cognac region. It was not originally because Citadelle is named after a distillery that used to operate in Dunkirk in France. That was a distillery operational in 1775. It got its license from the French king. It no longer exists, of course, but the distillery no longer exists, but the gin is still being produced with that 1775, that 18th century recipe. The Citadelle gin has a regular one, colorless, but very nice, but I would like to try the Réserve because, as you can see, it has this nice little color, and that is because of the oak aging for 6 months, but it does give this gin quite an extra twist. As you can see, they've got two types of bottles. This was the type of bottle that was used until 2012. Quite nice, surely, but when they overhauled their packaging in 2013, they came up with these, well, I would almost call them Art Deco style bottles, and let's be honest, the eye also is part of the pleasure of a drink. I find this quite a nice bottle, and it's a very smart one from a marketing point of view because it is thin, elegant, tall, and hence it will stand out on the gin shelf. Now the Citadelle Réserve has no less than 19 botanicals in there. Let's just name them. We've got almond, iris root, juniper, fennel, anise, paradise grain, that gives it a spicy little edge, orange peel and lemon peel, of course, for the citrusy notes, but there's also some violets and some cardamom in there. We've got coriander, we've got cuber, we've got cassia root, licorice, savory, nutmeg, angelica root, cumin, and cinnamon. 19 botanicals, but nevertheless they really do come out both on the nose and the palate, and that is because this gin is being distilled 4 times. The botanicals are only added to the 200-litre pot still after the 3rd distillation. So only in the 4th and final distillation the 19 botanicals go in there. So they're not distilled out, they're really very present both on the nose and the palate. The Citadelle Réserve is a vintage. It comes with 2013, 2012. The year is on it, on the label, and the bottles are individually numbered. I'm not sure if that's going to be the case in 2014 though, because in 2014, Alexandre Gabriel, which is the cellar master for the Citadelle gin, is using a new system for aging, quite unique in the gin world. For the next batch of the Citadelle Réserve, he will be using the solera system to age his gin. Now, as you know, solera is a system used for sherry primarily. They have layers of casks on top of each other, but interconnected. And the new sherry, the new wine goes into top casks. The youngest wine goes into top casks. They mingle and they mix, and they bottle from the lower casks, where the oldest wine will then be. But there is this strange intermixing going on with these casks, and using that for gin is quite unique. So I'm very much looking forward to the Citadelle Réserve 2014. But let's start with this one, and as you will notice, I do not have any tonic on the table, and that's because I find this to be a gin that really stands out on its own, does not need to be mixed with tonic to become it will turn into a very refreshing gin and tonic. I serve it with loads of ice and a bit of star anise, and added some fever tree Mediterranean. But I found this to be so exquisite on its own, neat, that I didn't want to present you with the gin tonic. Let me tell you a little bit more about the palate and the nose of this Citadelle Réserve. It's got a nice straw-like to some like white wine color from the aging in the cognac casks. So this is not saffron infused or anything like that. No, this is the color from the oak. On the nose. Oh. The first thing that hits you is the floral elements. It's like verbena. It's got the violets in there. It is indeed very floral, but the citrus and the juniper is directly underneath. Now the citrusy notes are from the lemon peel, and I do believe they use the yuzu, which is a type of Chinese lemon. It's very floral, but also very soft. Very soft, even though it is bottled at 44% ABV. It is very soft on the nose. I get some like hay that's been drying in the sun. Very nice. It's very balanced, and it's soft and elegant, a bit like the bottle. Very elegant. On the palate. Mouth coating. Silky soft, but it fills your mouth. It caresses the taste buds. It's very fresh at the beginning, but then immediately after the juniper comes out, after some tangerine, some lemon notes come out, very citrusy of course, you get this hint of vanilla, which is probably from the oak, and that's what makes this gin really stand out. There's this clear hint of coriander. There's clearly some cinnamon, loads of cinnamon in fact. Cinnamon and vanilla are the leading botanicals here in my opinion. Although the vanilla did not go in there, that's from the oak casks. Wow, this is very silky soft, and it's very elegant indeed, very full-bodied. And on the finish I get this truckload of cinnamon. The finish is very long, by the way, as far as a finish on the gin goes. It lingers very nicely, it's very warming. It really lasts long, which makes me feel this gin is almost too proud to be used in a gin and tonic. The regular Citadelle is perfect on its own, but also very well in a gin and tonic. But the Citadelle Réserve, I have to say, wow, this is a very nice, very balanced, very elegant, full-bodied gin that really stands out on its own. And like I said, it is in my top 5 of gins, and I prefer it neat. And that's all I have to say about the Citadelle gin, a French-produced gin, very well done, aged in cognac casks, imagine that, and soon to be aged with the solera system unique, so that is something to look out for next year. But that's all for this gin rambling. I hope you will join me again next time when we revert back to our good old love, whiskey. Until then, may the gin be with you.